I know what you guys are thinking. We didn't know if Matt was still alive. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a knife review. Again, you guys who have kept up with the channel know I'm in grad school right now. Only have a couple semesters left, so hopefully at some point we'll have a more steady stream of content. But yeah, so I'm still doing knife reviews. It just only happens once, every couple months or so. But today we are looking at the Cold Steel Frenzy. You guys know that by the title, by the screen. Big old blade, super cool knife. It's just really interesting knife. So as always, we are going to talk about some specs. We'll do some size comparisons. We'll talk about what I like, what I dislike, and we'll give it some overall thoughts. If it's a recommend, kind of closing thoughts. Maybe if there's something unique about it, which, there clearly is something unique here, we'll talk about that. So let's do some size comparisons first. So let's compare it to a classic. You guys know this one. Maybe modern classic, we'll call it. Rat 1. Just used and abused and pitted, and it's a user knife. It's like 25 bucks. Some people asked me in the comments, they were like, are you gonna get the Rat with the S35 steel and G10 handles? I might. It looks cool. I think they were on sale for like 85 bucks the other day. That's well within the range for a overseas produced S35 blade. So yeah, I might pick one of those up, but clearly a lot bigger on the Frenzy right here. All right, let's look at a comparison to what, an 8010. Anything look off to you guys about that 8010? Yeah, maybe all the smudges on the blade. Huh. Maybe it looks a little bit weird. Yeah, because it's fake. So I got this in the mail. I ordered from some rando seller on Amazon. All the people who are like, don't order on Amazon, you'll just get a bunch of fakes. Well, this was ordered on Amazon. This was ordered on Amazon. I've ordered hundreds of knives on Amazon, and I think this is the only fake I've ever gotten. So the seller refunded me money, but they just said keep it. So I'll probably do like a destruction video with this thing. It's very clearly a fake. The moment I got it out, I knew it was a fake, not just because of the lettering, but because of the way the fit and finish feels. Fit and finish isn't terrible, but it's just not what an 8010 should be. I've owned one before. So anyway, size comparison to the fake 8010. And let's look at it against what I just had, what I'm carrying today, Recon 1. This is a full-size tactical fixed blade, dwarfed by the good old Frenzy. So let's talk about some specs, and then we'll move on. So you're looking at a 5.7 ounce blade. Awesome. That is crazy good for this size. You guys know that I like a blade to blade length to ounce ratio. This is a 5.5 inch blade, so it's like right in the zone for what you would want for a blade. So that's excellent for this size of blade. 6 3/4 inch handle, S35 VN steel. Oh, if I can get that on camera. There you go. You can see that. There we go. S35 VN steel, has a sheep's foot blade, which that's what Cold Steel lists it on their website. It's a sheep's foot, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. We'll talk about it later. It is actually a Kabutawari, I had to write that down. Yes, I did. Kabutawari type blade. And I'll talk kind of about that later on, what the influences of that are here in a little bit. If you want to pick this up, it go from around like 110 to 140. I'd say, low ones if you want to pick it up. So let's talk about that Kabutawari style blade. So for those of you who are kind of weapons enthusiasts or just interested in kind of blades throughout history, you might recognize that shape. I didn't know the style. I knew it was a Japanese style, but the Kabutawari is the helmet breaker, or like the skull crusher. It was a style of sword. I think I looked around. I didn't do too much research, so let me know in the comments if this is true, if I'm misspeaking on any of this. But they used it as a very powerful, obviously edged weapon. It was supposed to be able to break helmets, break skulls. It had a lot of weight to it, apparently, very thick blade, which, this is quite a thick blade for how large it is. So anyway, that's the influences. And look up that blade. I think it does have a very similar shape to those blades. Those are super cool blades, by the way. If you know more about kind of the history behind the Kabutawari, put that in comments. Anyway, let's talk about what I like. So obviously the looks of this is really cool. Not only the blade style, which the blade style super unique. I don't know any other Kabutawari and I'm probably mispronouncing that, sorry guys, style blades on the market for folding knives, obviously. So yeah, you can get sheep's foot blades, but this actually, you can tell, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the tip actually comes out further than the beginning of the edge. So, you know, you can kind of see there's like a concave curve to that shadow right there. So that's really interesting. Obviously the blade is beautiful, has that nice fuller in there. You know, it's swedged on the top, a lot of machining into this blade. Just super cool. And then this G10 machined handle, really love the blue and the black, just really pretty knife. And it's machined very, very well. So, you know, and it's also relatively thin, but it's not too thin. It's just really, really cool, interesting aesthetic. I showed this to a couple of my friends. They were like, whoa, that's a wild knife. They loved it. They thought it was super, super cool. So love that. I mentioned it, love the size to weight ratio. It carries super easily, kind of carries like an old stiletto, very thin, you know, doesn't really, I don't really notice it in my pocket. I believe the Recon 1 is around 5 ounces. You know, I know the 8010 is more. I think it's about 7. So, you know, you're just in a great ballpark for if you want to carry a big blade. It's legal to carry a big blade where you live. You know, this is a great option for something that's not going to be too, you know, cumbersome. You know, it's going to weigh a lot less than this Voyager XL, you know, right here. So anyway, just great option. What else? So blade style, obviously I talked about that. Very unique. You just don't get that a lot in the market. A lot of them are drop points, clip points, Tontos. It's, you know, simple designs, which are totally cool, but this really, you know, kind of stands out in the market. And let's see, something that I really appreciate on this is the thumb studs. So the thumb studs are just, they're really big, and for a big blade, that makes them very easy to grasp, very easy to index on. When you pull this, careful not to close that on my fingers. When you pull this out of your pocket, there's no, you know, there's no question where those thumb studs are. They're just right there. They open that blade up really, really nicely. So I really enjoy the thumb studs. Placement's great. Size is great. I think that's awesome. So let's talk about 2 things I don't like. One is the lettering. So Cold Steel does their lettering, I think, overdoes their lettering a little bit. I just really don't like this because it's on the bevel and it just looks like it's an afterthought. You know, here on, let's go to the Recon 1 real quick. Gotta just leave this one out. So I'm putting it in my back of my pocket. You can tell it's kind of intentional. It's up on the flat before it bevels down to that edge. This, you know, there's not really any room because of that fuller, so they had to throw the lettering right there. I wish they would have been able to fit it right here, just made it small, kind of out of the way. You can put Cold Steel, put Frenzy, put all that stuff you want to put. But yeah, I just don't like where that lettering is. And again, I think Cold Steel's lettering is a little bit silly. Just prefer other companies. I think they kind of do it better. And then the clip. So the clip itself is fine. It's low profile. It's reversible. Surprising for a Cold Steel, right? Most of them, I'd say, aren't still. But it's not that I don't like the clip itself. It's that look how high that thing carries. I mean, you got a lot sticking out of that pocket. You know, like too much. I don't know why. Again, you can have a lanyard hole and have a pocket clip. You can do a deep carry clip or just something not so huge. You know, like. I don't get the mechanics of the design behind this. It's just big, but small gripes, right? So would I recommend it? Yeah, duh. This thing's awesome. It's super cool. Just interesting design, very unique, not really anything like it on the market. And it's done with super high quality materials. That's why I love Cold Steel, guys. You know, they put out these insane designs, but they're like, we're not giving you 420 HC. We're giving you S35, powdered metallurgy steel. We're giving you contoured G10, triad lock. So that's just why I love Cold Steel. I think it's awesome.